10 years ago, a little-known region of French Indochina, Laos, today has the dubious distinction of being one of the world's most explosive, troubled areas. A country of 3 warring factions, one founded by Prince Boum Oum here, which is pro-Western. A second that is led by Prince Souvanna Phouma, that takes a neutralist stand. And a third headed by Prince Souphanouvong, which, as may be expected these days, is a belligerent communist group. A tragic situation to which King Savang lends cruel irony. As a monarch, he represents a mere bow to tradition, being completely powerless and totally ineffectual. And though he presides at some functions, including sessions of the Laotian Parliament, an idea of the importance with which the communists regard his sittings is suggested by these empty seats. The Reds, to show their contempt for him, refuse to attend. The Pathet Lao faction, as the Laos communists are known, prefer to remain hidden in their strongholds until they are ready to raid and terrorize the countryside. They object vigorously to prying eyes, and here you see the welcome accorded a Movietone news unit seeking to learn their side of the dispute. The Mekong River, which serves as Laos's western boundary and separates it from Thailand, is the disturbed country's most important artery. And though it is sparsely populated in some regions, in others it teems with humanity. It irrigates most of Laos's cultivated lands. Luang Prabang and Vientiane are the country's 2 big cities with proper Laotians in the majority. But in the great marketplaces, 3 ethnic minorities compete with the Laotians for space and sales. Western influence in population centers is evident in the garb of school children. Laos is a land of contrasts. Spans of oxen are not uncommon on the excellent highway system installed by the former French rulers. Many farmers cling to immemorial ways. Fishing the rice paddies as their ancestors did over the centuries. Wallowing between labors, water buffalo are a common sight in the rich delta. Bamboo has many uses, and the women of Laos are expert in handling the valuable reeds. As these pictures are released, the communists, as shown here, have overrun the eastern part of Laos, and battles rage over a wide area as loyal Laotians try to stem the red tide. A situation that results in additional thousands of uprooted people, hordes of new refugees to be cared for by governments with a concern for human life. Directing and supporting the pro-communist Pathet Lao is North Vietnam leader Ho Chi Minh, catspaw of Red China's Mao Zedong. Ho Chi is waging war against South Vietnam and using Red-occupied Laos to send guerrilla bands against the South Vietnamese army, causing, as in Laos, great areas to shudder to the fury of battle. The flushing of communist infiltrators is a full-time task for the loyal South Vietnamese troops. What Mao Zedong wants is all Southeast Asia, the rice basket of the Orient. But encouraged by the free world, loyal Laotian troops are perfecting their battle techniques and are becoming a formidable modern fighting force dedicated to uniting their country again. Meanwhile, the United States has organized an air ferry to feed thousands of farmers in the interior of the embattled country. Mayo tribesmen whose rich crops in their entirety have been looted by the Reds. To to a people that once could afford to export most of their rice, Americans must rush these bags of rice to stave off starvation. This strange dance is a Thanksgiving. Recently, neutralist Premier Phouma agreed to stop fighting at the request of the International Control Commission. However, the Pathet Lao Reds refused and brutally shot down a plane carrying the Commission's Canadian, Indian, and Polish negotiators. This despite the fact the men represented the 14-nation Geneva Conference that worked out the Three Princes government. Both President Kennedy and Premier Khrushchev agreed Laotian peace is vital to world peace. But Mao Zedong apparently has other plans. So unless the Three Princes can get together, these loyalist troops are destined for battle.